Well, it's a far cry from what it looked like last time I showed you the garden. This is right before I take it down. I'm going to cut this video first. You can see there's still some really small tomatoes on the vines, just some green ones still, but they're going to have to come down because we're expecting freezing weather next week, and it's just not going to work out. There's going to be a bell pepper I'm going to take inside, but you see there's flowers still on them, and it's a shame, you know, it's a shame that I got to take them down this early. There's some bells down there too. This garden over here has gone to waste. After the cucumbers and the onions all came out, actually there might be an onion. That's green. That might be just grass too. Anyway, it's a tubular type, so it might be an onion. I don't know. We'll find out when it gets down there. Anyway, this is kind of gone to wasteland. I kind of put it off a little bit. I should have been picking out the grass and stuff, but nevertheless got a lot of stuff out of it, so I'm not too worried. It's going to take a lot to clean up. But I'm going to show you what to do with all these branches. So you're not going to throw them away. Okay, they're going to go right back in the ground. We're going to cut off the flowers, and we're going to cut off the roots, because we don't want anything growing just yet. All right, we want to plant what we want. We might want to do potatoes and corn next year, and not tomatoes and bell peppers. Who knows? Yeah, because variety is good too. So I'm going to cut this off now, and then you know, I'll show you after I take the fence down and do some work. I want to show you what's going on. All right. Okay, I've taken down all the plants, and everything else in there to me is just trash. You have weeds on the side. You have even the leaves are mixed with stuff. But the one thing I'm impressed with is see the tarp that I put down there, the ground covering. Hardly any, or the only grass and weeds are on the very edges that came around. So it did a very, very good weed control in this. Now in the other garden, I had to go in between the cucumber plants and all that, and that's why there's so much grass there. There wasn't 100% coverage. So in my opinion, using the grass covering, the ground covering around all your plants will keep all the grass down. I did not have to do any at all in the middle as far as cleaning up the weeds. Now over here is the plants that I pulled out. I'm going to cut off the roots. Okay, those are going to go in the trash. Any vegetables that have seeds in them, tomatoes on the ground that are too small to actually keep, I'm going to toss those, but all the branches, everything else is going to go into the ground. Okay, remember, you don't want seeds going in the ground, just like from your home waste, you know, your tomatoes and all that, your seeds from your bell peppers. You don't want to throw those back in the ground because you're going to have plants coming up in the springtime. Now your cages, you want to keep. Okay, all the cages, and I'm going to go over here. All right, you're going to keep whatever you can of your cages, and even your tomato stands. That's the green that in another video I tell you how to get rid of that. I'll work on that in the spring. And then over here is stuff you're going to throw away that can't be used again. So all the hardware that's broken off. All my cages are stored in back, and all my fencing and everything that I took down, the poles are in back. So you'll be using as much as possible for next year. Remember, virtually everything is going to be reused. Okay, to continue on the next video, I'll just attach it to this one. Okay, I am ready to do my tilling. That's the Mantis tiller that I use. Love it, have it. I've had it for now, what, 11 years, and it's worked every time. Okay, that's the trash that's going over back down into some kind of landfill. That's trash. That'll probably go in the ground somewhere else, but they're not in my garden. For safety reasons, remember, teeth down on the fork. It doesn't come up and slap you. That's all trash there, and that's the garden before the tilling. Okay, I went around and got as many things out that I could. Of course, you're going to come along other things, and when tilling, you're going to see the weeds and stuff. And you know, it's okay to stop tilling to get out the weeds, because you don't want them to grow again next year. You want to get as much out as you can. Okay, something else is going to happen. Okay, all these things are going to go back in from the tomato plants, and everything in this compost bin that we've been putting in here, it's going to be kind of nasty, I think. all that's going to go in the garden. It usually happens during the end of the year, so it empties it out and we start fresh the next year. And that is looking more and more like an onion. Let's see what that is. A small onion. It's going to be tasty. I'm going to put that over here. While you're doing your cleaning of the garden, you're going to find stuff. All right, tomatoes will turn red eventually, and the bell peppers will be good. Save your, store potting that you got your plants in last year, if you got any, because you could put seedlings in there and grow them again. Okay, just some helpful ideas. I'll clean up that onion and make a little salad out of it. It'll add a little spice to it. Okay, so I'm going to start my tilling. You don't need to see that, but I'll show it to you as I start putting things in and move along. Well, I'll leave it to my tiller to fail on me. So I break out the little shovel that I have, because I don't really have a shovel. And when you got to do it by hand, which I guess some of us are going to be doing, you have to really get deep. And look at this thing that I found doing this. That would have killed the tiller right there. Got tangled up in the tiller. So that's a heck of a long root. And what you don't want to do is you don't want to pull it out of the ground. You want to get 100% of it. So just follow it around. And you want to dig deep down there. And I feel things just ripping up. There's part of the root right there. Because I'll tell you what, if you leave this root in here, any piece of it, it's probably that type of plant that just keeps growing. It probably came from outside somewhere, outside the plant. So, outside the garden. So, wherever this thing is getting thicker, so I'll bet it goes underneath the border. And outside, there's another one right there. Yeah, it looks like it's heading out outside the. I didn't mean for this to be a video chasing down a root, but it broke right there. That's a heck of a root that came out of the garden. Jeez, that's something that'll. But anyway, you got to get down there, and since the tiller's not working, you don't have one. You got to get it here and turn over all this. Leave this stuff, and then grab all the green and throw it out there. Try to get as much out. Now I'm going to use the metal rake to actually rake up any roots here. But the thing is, you got to get this thing. This is from the tiller before it. Look how fine that is. Us as humans are not going to make it. But the one thing the tiller does do is really get down there that deep. So you want to get down there and break up and chop it up. You want to get down there, break it up, and chop it up. And do that to the whole garden. Okay, you know what? I am not looking forward to doing that one over there by hand. So that's going to be a heck of a chore. Well, after I hand turned it all with the shovel, decided to go over to try at the tiller one more time, and it worked. Whoa, what happened there? But I want to show you something. If I can zoom in good on that. Look how many weeds that thing dug up. Okay, what it dug out of there. So not only that strand of weed that I got, or that root that I pulled out, there was about 6 of them that I actually pulled out when I was digging. So so that's what the soil should look like, nice and rich. And you wouldn't believe how many worms I found in there when I was turning it with the shovel. So and also that long root. If I didn't have that barrier paper over it, that would how many plants would have came up from that root, you know? Anyway, I'm going to put the compost in there now and put all the pieces in. I kind of made a little cave in the middle down the center. And I'm going to do that and then clean off the tiller blades and till those things in. And I'll show you, I'll do a little video before and after what it'll look like. I'm going to also rake out some more of the stuff. I took all this is eggshells, the leaves, the coffee grounds, all sorts of stuff that's in the compost, that was in the compost bin. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mix it in by hand. And underneath all this is the stems of the tomato plants. Now something I need to let you know is the bell pepper plants, the stems are way too stiff. And I don't know what they'll do to the actual tiller. But what I do with those kind of stiff type of those stems, just put them back in the compost bin, and by spring, there'll be virtually nothing. I'll tell you right now, all this stuff you see right here will be gone by spring. Once it's tilled in and nature takes its place breaking it down, it goes through its freeze and then it's hot and everything. And it's going to turn out to be a really good fertilizer. Best free fertilizer you can get. Time to start tilling. Alright, that's a done deal. That is ready for winter. Now, one thing I would point out is if you have any big pieces of the stem from the tomato plants above surface, you want to bury them. Okay, they've already been chopped up by the tiller, or you did it with a knife or something like that. Break them down, and just like ice cubes, a big piece of ice won't melt as fast as shredded ice, or you know, the little pieces. All right, only because of the amount of surface that comes in contact. And same thing happens with the compost. All right, so this is ready for winter. I still have that one to do. And now that the tiller works, it's going to be a lot easier. All right, I have all this to clean up. That's trash. All that's trash over there. Anything over here that's on the ground is trash. All right, so I want to clean up this before I move on to the next one. I'm not going to take a video of that one because the video will be way too long doing that. But in any case, this gives you an idea how to get a bin, you know, a vegetable bin ready for the next season. So this will be like this. The leaves will go on it. The whole works. Snow will be packed on it. Come springtime, everything under there will be decomposed, and more compost will go into it. Some 10-10-10 fertilizer will go into it, and we'll be ready for a new garden. All right. I hope you enjoyed the video. Share with a friend, and check out it from the start. Bye. You know, my gardening during springtime. Bye. This is the last section of the video. It's after the fact. Anyway, I found 2 more onions in the garden, and told you I was going to show you that I was going to do this job, but actually it turned out a lot easier in this one than it did over there. Probably because over here I had a bunch of plants that had to be cleaned up. Over here really had nothing but bunch of grass that was very easily gotten up because I did have the berry paper. Now, lessons learned. Okay, berry paper is good if you cover the whole area, not just little strips like I did in this one. Okay, so we had virtually no grass, no weeds over here, but we had a whole bunch of it over here. Okay, so that's a lesson learned there. Lesson number 2, have time to pull whatever weeds do come up, whatever grass does come up. And I think that'll make the garden go a lot faster. I had toward this is November, I think it's 23rd. No, let's see, 25th, November 25th. So we have a cold front coming through, and by you know, it's 50 degrees out now. By Monday, it's supposed to be in the upper 30s. So the ground's going to get colder, and it's important to get this done before that because it's going to be not only cold doing the job, but the ground's going to be harder too. And your compost won't have time to actually break down. So there's just some lessons I learned this time, and next year I'm going to try some things different. I'm not going to show the entire front to back, you know, getting the garden going. Just probably some extra tips. Anyway, do these look quite like the very first video before I started planting plants? Hey, once again, share with a friend if you like it. Give me some thumbs up and leave comments. Bye.